What a glorious turnout for today's Cup. Our inaugural Hampton Rotary Cup, 25 years, and it's the first club cup. So many opportunities missed. With charter members Juliet, Lindsay, Jeff, Mari, Lou and Liz racing today, expect to see committed stayers in action. Following long-term doubts about whether the event could in fact be held, it is wonderful we're actually able to get together to celebrate such an auspicious occasion. What a blessing technology is. The reputation of the Rotary Club of Hampton has attracted international competitors from as far afield as Germany, Colombia and New Zealand. Over a very active 25 years of existence, training has taken place in a variety of places, including Timor-Leste, Fiji and next year moving to Tonga. It's a fabulous day for a race, and while recent COVID conditions have resulted in restricted training for many, the trainers and bookmakers assure us the field is well prepared to run the distance. We're looking forward to some stellar performances. 3 scratchings from today's event include charter member Lou, who has been known to break a rule or two in previous races. His trainer informs us he was pre-booked in an event that had to take priority. Hopefully we will see him competing next year. You can also put a line through Rob. He's been too busy hustling supporters, and as a result his trainer reports he failed the fitness test and so didn't qualify to compete. Such a shame really, as he would generally be well known for his peak fitness. And our German competitor Hans has unfortunately been a late scratching, only notifying stewards 24 hours prior to race time. Apparently time differences have wreaked havoc with his preparation and his availability to compete today. That leaves us with a field of 18 to greet the starter, and an interesting and diverse field they are, each with many fun facts about themselves they would be happy to share. Our international competitors are somewhat unknowns in such an event. The unfamiliar race conditions could make a win nigh impossible. The bookies have placed each of them at long odds. A few gear changes to announce before the race. Rhonda's trainer has applied a tongue control. As listeners will be well aware, that filly sure can talk. Vets have placed eye patches on Christine and some shoulder bandages on Lance. There has been much marketing hype around Christine. Apparently she has trained well in the lead up to the event, so let's hope the eye patches don't lead her astray and she has lots of material to report on social media post-event. News at hand indicates Roz has been unable to undertake her normal training and she appeared to be struggling in the parade ring, but the mare's a survivor with a long history of success, so nothing should surprise us. It's amazing she can compete at all, but then one doesn't get an OAM unless one's a stayer. Maria is to continue in her favourite boots. Wouldn't you have thought that 8 years of the same boots would have worn them out? This race caller has heard suggestions from those in the know that perhaps they're made of materials only experts in the mining industry are aware of. Born and bred in Colombia, although I'm not sure why her name isn't Gloria, she's running her maiden race here in Australia and has become well known for her ability to plan and pay attention to detail. Amanda is to compete the way she started her training, shoeless. On this track it should be quite the challenge, but her trainer John assures us, despite appearances, she is one tough filly, and the stewards have agreed to this most unusual request. Both Amanda and her trainer have shed more than a few kilos in the lead up to the race, and some question if this weight shedding is the result of diet alone. Given Amanda has been undertaking intensive training interstate, and given the rumours circulating that her trainer has access to some trial drugs, combined with her lean appearance, we can't help but wonder what was administered during this recent secretive training. No doubt Amanda will have a well-thought-out strategic plan for the race. We're awaiting the results of drug testing. Oh, newsflash, just in, stewards have announced Amanda's recent urine test and saliva swab for performance-enhancing drugs have come back negative, so these rumours of drug cheating should now be put to rest. Bev was a doubtful starter as the vet wanted her to report for surgery, but Lance, her trainer, has insisted she wait as he is currently very reliant on her in his stable. Her inability to have her mane trimmed in preparation for the race may hamper her vision on the track. In addition, a recent newcomer to the stable may have distracted her from the race preparation. She has drawn barrier 6, and no surprise, Lance has drawn barrier 7. Lance still looks disappointed he hasn't recovered from not being able to change stables due to COVID restrictions. At least the unused preferred stable remains in mint condition. Jenny Fox looks excited to be out of the house and be allowed to giddy up with her friends, although she may have preferred to race on a more rain-affected track given her excellent form in the wet as evidenced at the recent farmers market. Maria, Stewart, Christine and Jenny Fox all seem completely unfazed by a wet track and a large puddle, and are probably disappointed at the fine weather Melbourne has put on for the race. In contrast, Liz seems to be a little bit disinterested in this important race. Could it be she's distracted by the prospect of celebratory drinks post-race? Stuart, Rhonda and Peter Reid also appear a little distracted by the thought of a post-race drink. Let's hope they can focus enough to make the distance. Lindsay seems to be somewhat distracted by James Morrison playing in the distance. Maybe James will inspire him to run his best race. It would appear once having shared a feed bucket with an incumbent Prime Minister may not actually have enhanced his chances of taking out this race. Jeff is in deep discussion about the newly repaired club trailer and whether it's in good enough condition to get everyone back to their stables following the post-race celebrations. His trainer Prue has assured stewards, despite him being long in the tooth, he is very fit and well. Noel seems to be preening for the cameras, hoping to make his fourth TV appearance. He clearly comes up well with a good spit and polish, not much of a mane, but his flank appears to be in good condition. It's unclear how much Peter Reid's Churchill Fellowship has helped him to prepare for this historical event, but this may become apparent later. His love of a wine during any campaign is noteworthy. Juliet, again, also seems to be distracted. It isn't clear how the training on the new patio will affect her race form. The inability to travel to train overseas seems to have left her wanting. Jennifer Newton was quietly removed to a picturesque interstate training venue recently, so there is little known about her fitness status. However, reports this week from her trainer suggested the horse groomer went to town on her mane in the hope of reducing wind resistance during the race. Not sure if that strategy will pay dividends. Suffice to say the warmer climes of northern New South Wales is unlikely to have done her any harm. Given the age of the competitors, the organisers have requested 2 road and 1 air ambulance to follow the race due to the propensity of the runners to suffer injuries. Fortunately, there is a world-class veterinary hospital close by. Let's hope it's not needed. Rhonda's finally got her head out of the feed bin and consented to go around to the barriers. Kiwi-bred Stuart has snuck up behind her, appearing to check if anything is left in the bin for food bank. It'll be interesting to see how she goes today against more seasoned opposition. Lucky it's a warm day, as she's known not to cope well with the cold. They are moving in quite well now, with Annette hustling a few of the competitors out of the way. She might be considered a dark horse in this race. Strangely enough, this chestnut had a grey stripe last appearance, but this seems to have disappeared. Not quite sure what's happening there. A new tapered front mane might help her to see the track more clearly. This horse is a bit of an unknown, really, always surprising her followers. The form guide indicates a broken fetlock from a fall over a Freddo as a young filly, but this appears not to have hampered her progress. The rest of the field look excited as they head into the stalls, with the exception of Christine, who's being led in last due to a blindfold. She certainly appears to be supportive of the other competitors, and the race guide describes her, too, as a dark horse, one never to be underestimated, as can be seen by her incredible achievements over the past 6 months. Breaking new ground, some would say. The starter mounts a podium, surveys the field, but appears to be worried about one of the competitors who's carrying a poorly hidden hip flask, but decides not to mention it to the stewards. The field is set. An anticipatory hush falls over the crowd. And they're off. Juliet is out quickly. Christine seems to have missed the start badly, and Annette and Amanda have been quickly pinned against the fence, keen to take the lead early in the race. Roz has started well and has gone 3 wide beside Amanda and Annette. Stuart and Noel are staying midfield. Bev and Lance seem happy to run together, with their manes regularly swaying against each other. Jennifer Newton, always one to run her own race, has gone 5 wide. Another dark horse full of surprises. At the 500 mark, it's Annette on the outside, Amanda on the inside setting the pace, with neither willing to concede the lead. Maria and Liz sit comfortably behind the leaders. Next comes Jeff on the rails. Jennifer Newton takes up a spot on his outside. Bev and Lance continue racing together. No wonder they're the same odds. Then comes Lindsay and Rhonda trying to get off the rails, followed by Juliet, who has settled well. Then comes Peter Reid, who appears to be bottled up on the fence. Jenny Fox has found herself awkwardly placed, followed by Stuart, Noel, Murray and Roz back in the field, with 2 lengths back to Christine, trying to make up for a poor start. The leaders have gone out at breakneck speed. It's Annette on the inside, Amanda on the outside. They've gone an incredible 4 lengths ahead of the rest of the field. Maria appears to be making up some ground. Liz is picking up speed, getting close to the post-race drink. Then comes Jeff, who is well placed, followed by Lindsay, who is trying to improve his position. Noel sits comfortably on the fence alongside Stuart, followed by Rhonda, with Jen Newton caught wide without cover. Jenny Fox is following a length behind, with Mari not far away, Bev and Lance still racing as a pair, and then comes Peter Reid, Christine and Juliet chasing Peter's rear. Down the back straight, and Amanda's finally conceded the lead to Annette and has fallen in behind her. 3 lengths to Maria, another length to Roz, who's worked hard to keep pace with the rest. Stewart's gaining, follow closely behind are Noel and Rhonda, then Bev and Lance, and Main's entangled, with Jenny Fox and Jeff following not far behind. Then Liz, Jen Newton still out wide. Next comes Lindsay alongside Mari, and watch out for Christine. She's taken off around the outside at neck pace speed, while Juliet seems to have slowed somewhat. It does look like they may not make the distance. Perhaps the patio was not the best training surface for Juliet. Oh dear, Murray's taking off with Christine. It looks like it could be a bit too wide. Hang on, she seems to be wanting to race on the other side of the track. Christine seems a bit confused. Her blindfold couldn't possibly be helping. Oh no, they've veered so far over, they've both fallen over the barrier into the rose bushes. Unheard of. Looks like their race is over. Maria is now joining Annette and Amanda in the lead pack on the outside. Those boots of hers will be worth a fortune if she manages to win this race. Peter Reid is making a run and joining the lead. Kiwi-born Stewart, too, is putting on some pace and joining Peter. Noel is behind them and Lindsay a length or two further back. Rhonda doesn't seem to be able to keep up and for some reason seems to be chanting some mantra, or is it a positive affirmation? Perhaps it's a ploy to distract the other competitors. Jeff has been shuffled back. Jenny Fox is looking good and maintaining her position. She certainly won't let anyone push her around. Bev and Lance appear to be failing to make up ground. Jen Newton looks to be longing to be back in Byron, while Liz, Juliet and Roz appear to be making up a small amount of ground at the rear of the field. On the turn 500 out, excitement is mounting at the track as Amanda and Annette appear to have hit the wall. There's always a risk in going too fast too early. Peter Reid and Stewart take advantage of this and comfortably take the lead. A length to Lindsay. Jenny Fox appears to be out of the race with the whip coming out on Noel as he runs on trying to gain some ground. Stewart has taken the lead from Peter Reid. Noel down the outside following closely behind. Stewart, Noel, and oh my God, look out, here comes Jenny Fox on the outside. The ex-president could actually win the cup. Now that would be a shock. You can't discount any of these stayers and their commitment. This is history in the making at the track in the first ever Hampton Rotary Cup. Noel has taken the lead, but old Jenny Fox is giving him a run for his money. Oops, it appears Noel's watch has rung, which has caused him to become distracted, taking his attention away from the task at hand. Jenny Fox keeps up a late run to cross the line first. What an upset. A neck to Stewart, the New Zealander. Noel held on for third. 2 lengths back was Peter Reid. Jeff, who continued to maintain his steady pace, crosses the finish line in 5th place. Next comes Lindsay, followed by, it might be time to retire those boots, Maria. Annette and Amanda, our early race leaders, have made it across the finish line. Too much too early suggests they may have overtrained and been overconfident. Bev and Lance come up the back, finishing together. Injuries have clearly impacted their performance. Next is Jen Newton, who appears to have spent too much time living life at a different pace. Looks like the severely trimmed mane didn't help at all. Coming up behind, we have Liz and Rhonda, who are no doubt wanting to slip the bridle off very quickly so they can sprint to the post-race celebrations. Unfortunate Juliet, who never really got into the race, looks to have pulled up sore at the tail end of the field, and oh dear me, Roz too has limped across the line and looks lucky to have competed the race. A quick check on Christine and Mari sees them still picking themselves out of the rose bushes. No doubt the thorns will be painful. No need for a vet though, but some post-race Feldenkrais is bound to help. With such an unexpected result, the quaddie would have to be worth a fortune. No one in their right mind would have predicted this result. So there you have it, listeners. The 2020 inaugural Hampton Rotary Cup race is complete with a stellar performance by a long odds favourite in Jenny Fox. Her performance has undoubtedly given her Hampton Rotary equine immortality status. The mental health of all competitors seems okay, so we can be grateful to all those present and the fan base of the club for their support. No doubt Christine will find some great marketing material from this wonderful event. Hope to see the same field with some newcomers back on the track in 2020.